Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, whether you are tuning in via the podcast or whether you are checking out this video. My name is Mel Bridger and I am the creator of Fine, the Fitness Instructors Networking event. And here with me today, I have Nicky Lloyd Greame. Say hi, Nicky.
Hi.
And Nikki's going to be running a workshop at the event, Mindset for the Fitness Professional. So, Nikki, could you introduce yourself first of all, please?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Nikki and I am also known as the stress specialist. I come from quite a varied background, some similar to Mel, some very different, but I used to be, in a very past life, I was a fitness instructor and then a dance instructor. And then I have now kind of, rather than training the body, I now focus more on training the mind. So I upskilled and reskilled and now help people basically like mindset stuff, managing stress and anxiety and mental health issues. Lots of things which crop up a lot when you work for yourself. So I spend a lot of time doing that. In my spare time, I dance salsa as one of my coping mechanisms, and I run and various other things. So fitness is not new to me and by any means, and I'm looking forward to to finding out what what everyone's doing at this event. I'm looking forward to speaking to everyone and hopefully sharing some wisdom and tips that'll help them.
Awesome. So if we talk a little bit about mindset, because there are a lot of people in the fitness industry, we tend to think that if we take care of our bodies, then that should be okay. But when you're running a business, whether it's full-time or part-time or even a hobby, I'm guessing, I mean, well known from experience, mindset is affected quite a lot and it's something that we generally tend to ignore. Would you say that's a true statement?
Yeah, I mean, I'd actually flip what you've just said and say, if we look after our mindset first, it makes looking after our body much easier. All those people that do struggle with sticking to healthy habits, whether they be physical ones or whatever, the big kind of factor or the big determining factor in it is generally the mindset, and particularly, not just for personal development and personal growth in this, and personal fitness, but also when you're running a business, things like imposter syndrome and, confidence, lack of confidence, or not believing that you're good enough, or basically being able to cope with knockbacks and low numbers in classes and all that kind of stuff. That literally changes your whole energy, which then means that you don't give that back to your students. It also then means that you take it on internally, physically and mentally. So for me, mindset is where everyone really should be starting. And it's a case of, if you get that right, your mind will then help your body do the rest.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me. Given that we're like best friends basically and we know what each other do. But for a fitness professional, so say if I was coming to you and I'm like, I am seriously stressed, my class numbers have crashed and I just can't seem to get my focus, my energy levels are low and I just can't seem to focus. What would be, I don't want to say quick fix, but what would be one of the first things that somebody could do to get their mindset back on board?
You kind of almost need to do a bit of an audit of what it is you're focusing on. Identify what it is you're actually focusing on. Are you saying, I can't do this, the numbers are not here? Are you saying everything in the negative? Because if you are, literally what you're telling your brain is, yeah, let's keep thinking about the negative stuff. And therefore, when you're doing that with your brain, all you're doing is consistently triggering what we call the stress hormones, which put you in a lower and lower and lower state. So actually you need to switch your thoughts to solution based, but probably before you do that, once you've done your audit, once you've identified that, you then need to actually take some time, and rather than focusing on the things that are stressing you out, you need to focus on, what do I need to do to make myself feel better? And, are you prioritizing yourself? Are you, for example, and I'm saying this to you, Mel, because I know sometimes you're guilty of this. Are you, for example, not getting yourself to bed on time? Are you working too much? Are you, not eating healthily? Are you not drinking right? Are you not actually looking after your own physical body because you think you've got no time to do it because you're so busy doing all these millions of different things that you think you need to do, when actually by literally taking a step back and refocusing on yourself, you fill up your resourceful bucket, if you like. You put yourself in a more resourceful state, which then enables you to cope with everything else. And all of a sudden, these ideas will come out of nowhere, but that won't ever happen if you're not looking after yourself first.
That makes sense. So you basically like putting up like a metaphorical brick wall, which is preventing you from doing everything else. You're just shutting down in effect.
When you're overwhelmed, what actually happens is, if you're consistently overwhelmed, your body produces chemicals, the stress chemicals. So you've got adrenaline, which obviously we know what adrenaline is, we use it, but it's also got cortisol. And when you've got too much cortisol in your brain, some of you will probably relate to this, you get almost like a fuzzy head and nothing's clear anymore. And you can't kind of seem to think straight, and you're constantly thinking about one thing, and then you get distracted by another, and then by another, and then by another, and you're flitting all over. And that is just caused by chemicals. So what you have to do is take some time to get those chemicals dissipated and out of your system, but it won't do it while you're still in that state.
Right. So you have to really think about it from like a basic format. There's no point in trying to firefight everything that you think is going wrong, because you're in the wrong frame of mind. So you need to switch up your thinking, as you said. And then does it then feel like, I mean, I know it's not going to happen instantly, and I know that at Fine you're going to be teaching people techniques on how to be able to do this. So do you then find that you have that sense of clarity once you've gone back to where the negative thoughts are coming from, almost, or trying to deal with them?
So yeah, a lot of people, when they're experiencing negative things, they think they have to try and quash them. And actually what I encourage people to do is kind of sit with them for a bit, but there's a time limit to that, and then you switch it and you move on. And actually, although you say it's not a quick fix, there is, and some of the techniques I will be teaching on the day, in 2 minutes, I can change someone's state instantly. I can show you how to change state in 2 minutes. Wow. Now, that won't be a permanent change, and you might have to keep going back, but actually what you need to recognize is, that there's certain things that you can do to put yourself in that resourceful state to get rid of those chemicals. The irony is, the people, obviously the audience that we're going to be dealing with on the day, are all fitness instructors. One of the best things to do is exercise. Yeah. But because it's a busman's holiday, you're not viewing it as exercise, you're viewing it as work.
Yeah.
So it is literally, the mind shift needs to be, rather than, oh my God, this is work and I've not got many people in my class, and you've got this work face on that's all smiling and whatever else, but in the back of your head, you're still worrying. Whereas if you just almost sit with the class as much as you're teaching them, if that's what you do, and participate as a participant as well, you get the benefits, you get the endorphin release, you get all that kind of stuff that helps reduce those chemicals. And then once you're in that resourceful state, which can happen, like I say, within 2 minutes, that's when you can then start to think, okay, solution focus now. What do I need to be doing? Rather than, oh my God, what's happening to me? So you go from being, you go from being almost like a victim to someone in control. Okay. Yeah, instead of, this is happening to me, this is happening to me, no one's coming to my classes, you go for, okay, so there's no one at my class, so what can I do about this, and what can I do about that? You get very pragmatic, but you can't do that if your brain's fuzzy, because you just don't see it.
That makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I think that obviously learning that mind shift, because we do, like everything that you've just said, I've been there, where you've had the smile on your face and you've got a handful of people in front of you and you're thinking, oh, haven't even covered the cost of the room, and like you say, like it's quite a powerful statement to say about, about being the victim, and it's true, because you're like making yourself a victim of your own circumstances. So choosing to change your mindset using the techniques, obviously, that people will learn on the day, is going to be massive, because then you're taking yourself out of that, I want to say, like negative vortex almost, because that's what it feels like. And then being pragmatist. So when people are like, oh, think positive, you're not even going anywhere near that. You're just saying, take yourself out of that situation and look at it from the outside in and go, okay, I need to change my situation. What do I need to do to be able to make that happen?
It's solution focused, and we all, the reason why we quite naturally, all of us, go into victim mode is because then it makes it okay to fail, because your brain doesn't like to fail. So it's much easier to fall into victim mode and have it be someone else's cause. It takes more effort and whatever else to go into solution focus, but equally the rewards are much, much bigger. And it becomes addictive. That in itself becomes addictive, because you start to figure out, if you think about it, you know, everything that you've ever been successful at, you have failed at. You've never, everything with that, you know, even from being a child, you know, learning to walk, you know, how many times you won't know, you won't remember, but you will have fallen down. But you get up. That's how the brain works. But as we get older, we're less inclined to want to fall down because it's embarrassing, or we think people will look at us or judge us. But actually, part of that is the learning. But what you need to do is get the brain used to, right, what's the solution? What do I need to tweak? What do I need to change here? You know, and practicing acceptance is another one. You know, if it's something you can't change, like you're in the middle of a class, you've got 6 people in front of you, you needed 12 to cover the costs, you know, you can't change that. You know, you're in there. Can I do anything about this right now? No. But can I deliver the best bloody class ever to these groups, so they then go away, tell loads of people, oh my God, you need to come to this class, so that next week you don't have the same issue.
Yeah, and that's a really good way of looking at it, really. And I know that I've learned over the years, definitely, I think more when we were in the dance scene, I think I probably beat myself up a lot more than I do now. And that's probably because of all of the failures that I've had. But I always relate back to people like Einstein and Thomas Edison. Wasn't he? Didn't he say like, oh, I didn't get it all wrong, or I just discovered 99 ways not to make a light bulb, or something along those lines, right? So you can see how that mindset change does really affect you. And I think now, talking about it, I can see how, as I've grown older, that and the more failures that I've had to then get to success, because a lot of people think that success is a straight path, and we both know that that's not. When I look at things that people think you make that look easy, I think to myself, you did not see my journey to get to that stage. So yeah, I can actually look back and see where I've done it and come out the other side.
Yeah, there's a phrase that I use in the kind of some of the therapies that I use, is a really common phrase. There is no failure, only feedback.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And it's exactly that. With everything you do, there is no failure, there's only feedback. So it's what can you learn from it? So it's all about asking yourself better questions about what's gone on, rather than, oh, why has this gone wrong? If you ask your brain, why has it gone wrong? It'll give you 100 reasons why it's gone wrong.
Yeah.
If you ask your brain as, okay, what can I do better next time? What have I learned from this? It will equally give you loads of answers, and then that helps you then move forward.
So that's when you talk about switching status, that's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to your workshop at Fine then. I think that a lot of fitness professionals are going to be able to benefit from something like that, instead of, you know, worrying about what everybody else is doing and why it seems like everyone else is getting it right when they're getting it wrong. So yeah, I'm definitely.
The beauty of fitness instructors is you're selling yourself. So you're all unique. Every single one of you is unique, and everyone who goes to a fitness class buys the instructor. They're not there. I mean, ultimately they're there for the workout, but really, if the instructor was rubbish, they would not be there. So they're buying you. So you already have a unique selling point.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe in that and and stay authentic, and actually recognize that the people that will keep coming are coming for you.
This is true. And that's a great note to end this interview on. But thank you very much for your time, Nicky. I really appreciate that. And hopefully our Fine and potential Fine participants will watch this and realise how much they're going to benefit, and changing up your mindset will definitely be able to help you change your business. So thanks, Nicky, and I will see you at Fine.
You will indeed. Take care. See you later, everybody.